Took it long enough. So we will get through this thing so we can all get to doing the things we got to do, all the work we got still unfinished. Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. I can't do anything with that. There we go. Live from our luxurious studios in Burbank, California. Multi-million-dollar studio. So we got a lot to discuss. I mean, we haven't been up and running since the end of that Jacksonville victory, which translates to Super Bowl. You'll see. I don't think so. You know, this is just really pissing me off. There we go. All right. So that's the best I can do. So we've got to discuss player personnel. This would include Chubb. We're going to discuss your channel, which includes ThemTube, otherwise known as YouTube. I just did a video, and we're going to discuss the video you did involving one of the defensive players that we're going to be seeing we'll get into that probably with our pregame. I guess we could call this kind of an all-inclusive, kind of a wrap-up of the Jacksonville, which I just produced a video, and it's rendering right now. It took me this long. You know, I laid the audio down right after the game, and it's taken me this long to actually edit and put the video on top of it. It's just too much to do and not get paid for, you know, like you did a great film study, and we'll get into that later with regards to Jeffrey Simmons, I believe. Yeah, it's a great video. And of course, because it is great, ThemTube has to take it down. So let's recap and get back to the beginning and we'll just start hitting things as they progressed along. The game in Jacksonville, all I can say is Lawrence didn't have his head up his ass and threw an easy touchdown instead of really gifting it to Justin Simmons, this game would have been a loss for the Broncos. Because, 17, I think so, because 3, yeah, I think that would have put them over the top. Maybe not, maybe, but they got 17. So I had 7 being 24. It would have been 24-21 had, you know, Lawrence not had his head up his ass. And I just want to say that, yes, in looking at the film, they did go into Shermer, and which stalled a lot of their drives that they could have even. They just can't help themselves with that. So anyway, what do you have?
Well, when it comes to the game, I got a lot of pushback from a bunch of people saying that I hate every Denver Bronco player on the team. I find that hilarious because I never said that. I never said that every Bronco player sucks. And if you watch my Jeffrey Simmons film review, I go into great detail about what I said. You know, I'm not here to blow sunshine and rainbows up everyone's ass. I'm going to tell you like it is. Okay. I'm not that type of person that's just going to sit back and tell you how great of a fan I am, tell you how great this team is, but in reality, they're not. I'm not going to tell you after one win against the Jacksonville Jaguars that this team is going to go to the Super Bowl. I understand people are happy that we beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not. Because here's why. We beat those types of teams every single year, but when it comes down to it, and even this year is a great example of that. When it comes down to it, you guys can't even beat the Colts, who just fired their head coach and went and got a broadcaster to be their interim head coach. You couldn't beat the fucking Colts. You couldn't beat the Raiders, okay? And now, and I just want to say this before I segue back into that. For all the Bronco fans that are talking shit to the Raiders right now, you might want to watch what you're saying because you guys haven't done shit in in a decade plus. Okay? Like, for all the people that are talking shit to the fucking Raiders, I mean, I get it. I hate the Raiders. I grew up hating the Raiders. I understand that. But man, like we are the '90s Raiders all over. It is just a reoccurring theme all over again. It's like we're in the fucking Matrix, and it's the fucking '90s Raiders. I mean, I think most of these fans are former Raider fans. I honestly believe that by the way that they act, by the way they conduct themselves. But going back into what I said, um, you guys can't even beat the most simplest of teams, and this goes into the entire National Football League. The entire NFL is a big old clusterfuck as it is. I'm getting really sick and tired of teams, even like the Buffalo Bills, even like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, even the Los Angeles Rams, that do this stupid head up your ass Kyle Shanahan-esque bullshit that they can't seem to do what works and stick to what works. It's like the Broncos. You know,
Mm-hmm.
going back to this game, the Denver Broncos, yeah, they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Congratulations. You beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. But you couldn't beat the fucking Colts at home. You couldn't beat the Raiders. You couldn't even beat the Jets. And the Jets beat the Bills team. And I said that defense was a very good defense. Everyone laughed at my face for that one. Not where you guys are at. You guys can't even beat the Ravens, those top tier teams. But like I said earlier, the Denver Broncos have always been this PR hyped up bullshit machine ever since Elway's taken over full control. And Elway is still part of this organization. I don't give a fuck what people have to say. Well, Elway isn't a part of the organization. Yes, he is. Yes,
Absolutely.
he is.
Well,
Yes, he is.
well, that's even come out in the main press that, oh well, we talked to John Elway who stepped down in 2020 but still works in the front office. I mean, but he stepped down but still worked. Well, where does stepping down end and working begin? I mean,
well, exactly, and this is the reality of the situation, and this goes to the world today. And me and you have had many conversations about this off camera. Is that the NFL, the fans of the NFL, and I'm going to be posting my video here soon, right after this, my video that I have for my channel, which is going to be a big channel update. What I've said time and time again about the world in the NFL today is it's a clown world. A lot of people like to believe what they believe on their fucking TV screens, what they see on the internet. You can't believe everything that you see on the internet, okay? And it's common sense shit. And I think a lot of people can't grasp, or yes, they can't grasp the common sense in the nucleus of this whole operation, which is John Elway. They can't accept the common thread out of this whole entire thing is John fucking Elway. And at the end of the day, the Denver Broncos are what they are on the field, and that's because of John Elway. It's not because of George Payton. It's not because of Nathaniel Hackett. It's not because of Ezra. It's not because of all these coaches on the most flammable coaching staff in the NFL. And I believe, and I'm going to make a prediction, I believe that this coaching staff could be fired at the end of the year because their head is so far up their ass, this organization, that I honestly believe that they were Russell Wilson. Or hold on, that's just a conspiracy theory. This is just a conspiracy theory. They really thought they were actually Aaron Rodgers away from going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So, well, you have a front office that can't be honest to save their life. The threat has been John Elway, this everything right across the board. I want to talk about player personnel now. I want to get into the player personnel question. What I'm going to get into will eventually segue into Chubb, Draymond Jones, Gregory, all that. Okay. What is the body language? I'm going to ask you because I've asked every fan of every team that I can talk to. What is the body language coming out of Seattle on getting rid of Russell Wilson? What's that body language? And what are you hearing from other people as well? What's that? And what are you hearing, especially in Seattle? What's that body language there going on?
Well, what I'm seeing from Seattle and what I'm hearing from Seattle is they're happy. They feel free. They don't feel like they have to cater to one player. And you know what? That's just the crux of this whole thing is the Denver Broncos traded for somebody that I believe is vastly overrated. I believe Russell Wilson is one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the NFL, and here's why. Because they brought in Russell Wilson to basically be the saving grace for this team, but in reality, the team needs to be the saving grace for Russell Wilson. Am I wrong or am I correct on that? Because if you actually look at the body of work of Russell Wilson and what he was successful at, and we had Seattle fans this whole entire offseason warning you, toxic Denver Bronco fans, and, on our channel and siding with us saying that this guy is not the type of quarterback that can take you over the top. You actually have to have a system in place for him to have an easy transition into. And just because Nathaniel Hackett, and again, Nathaniel Hackett, and this is the crux of the whole thing. They brought in Nathaniel Hackett for Aaron Rodgers. They didn't bring in Nathaniel Hackett for fucking Russell Wilson. It was all Aaron Rodgers. I'm really getting sick and tired of hearing that from Bronco people and the national media included, that they actually believe that they brought in Nathaniel Hackett to cater to Russell Wilson. No, they brought in Nathaniel Hackett to cater and eventually try and get Aaron Rodgers.
Well, let's remind the viewer this. There was a search committee put together.
Headed by who?
John Elway, the guy that's the outside. But I swear to God, I got the
conspiracy theory.
Yeah, until you see his biggest office. We've posted video of him in his biggest office, tapping Peyton on the shoulder, saying, no, you can't go after Dan. No, not Dan Quinn. No. So what they do is then they put out a puff piece saying it was going to be some other coach. And then the writer says, was this a dig at Hackett? Well, the way it works with John Elway, he's got these ideas that go through his head, and he really thinks he's going to get Aaron Rodgers. And of course, give Aaron Rodgers at least credit. And we both said, even if he came here, the results would be the same. But give Aaron Rodgers credit for not being as dumb. Now, Wilson didn't have a choice. We know that because of his press conference. Are you sure this is what you want to do? Oh yeah, we're definitely sure this is what we're going to do. Okay, okay.
I mean, if you're the Seattle Seahawks in that point in time, like you just said, would you not be like, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to fleece the Denver Broncos. And that is the reality of the situation. Me and my partner here, my partner and I here said that this was a fleece for the ages. It is. It has been, and it's turned out like that. And at the end of the day, the Seahawks and the entire NFL are laughing at the Denver Broncos. And you know what? At the end of the day, the Denver Broncos were what we said they were going to be. They cannot get out of their own way because of the guy up top and how much PR bullshit they put out each and every year. And at the end of the day, the Denver Broncos will never amount to anything in this Russell Wilson era because in my personal opinion, they are not into the teams that actually take player development seriously. I mean, you have teams like the Eagles who are undefeated. You have teams like the Giants who are playing exceptionally well. And what did they do this offseason? And what are the teams that are actually taking off now? What did they do? They built teams from the inside out. The Eagles did not go out and get Russell Wilson. The Eagles didn't go out and get Tom Brady. The Eagles didn't trade for Matthew Stafford.
Well, the Eagles did ask for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but again, they weren't going to give up the capital that the Broncos gave up.
No way.
Look what happened. You have a guy in Jalen Hurts who is benefiting from better player personnel around him, he has the best offensive line in football, and he's fucking kicking ass. You have the Eagles defense led by Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox in the interior with that 4-3 hybrid defense that's kicking butt. And then you have the Giants who aren't paying all this money to a quarterback. They're still on the rookie deal with Daniel Jones. They only lost 1 or 2 games. And on top of that, they went out and got the best prospect in the NFL draft who fell to the 5th spot in Evan fucking Neal.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, they went out and got and you know what I think is going to happen? I think the Bills might regress a little bit because of the guy that the Giants took away from the Buffalo Bills organization, because he is offense and defensive line centric. And we know that the most important positions on the field are the offense and defensive lines. And the teams that are having success in the National Football League are the ones that are top of their conference or in the discussion for the Super Bowl and playoffs.
I look at the offensive and defensive line as a sun, and the planets all, revolve around that, not the quarterback. Not the quarterback. See, this is an age where we got away from dynasties, which means, what was a dynasty? It was a complete team. We now just quarterback. It's not about the quarterback. It's about how we can make the quarterback's job easy. And you're just saying, does not what's going on in Philadelphia ring on that philosophy of making the quarterback's job easy?
Does it not ring on the philosophy that me and you have preached ever since we've been doing this together? It is rung true, just like the Giants, just like the Bills, just like all these
Tampa Bay before and how they built to get
before Brady and the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I mean, the Titans are another example of it too. That these teams understand the philosophy that me and this man preach on a consistent basis every time we do a video. And you talk about dynasties, which is that's a really good point that you brought up, because Denver Bronco fans, you guys should remember we had a dynasty in the 90s. That team was
John Elway.
John Elway, but you forget about that defense, that front seven, that offensive line, Bill Romanowski.
All the player personnel that came.
Yep.
John Beek brought all that in. Pat Bowlen helped bring all that in.
Alex Gibbs.
Yep. Bobby Turner with the running back, picking Terrell Davis, mixed with the Alex Gibbs, and that combination, and all they had to do was hand the ball off, and then that was all that. Yeah, it's not about It's not, the quarterback is just another one of these planets. It's got to be centric. It's got to be. Yeah, they're right. We had both offense and defensive lines that were outstanding.
Correct.
And they've completely forgot about all that. They've become very much thinking like what we've seen with the Jets over the years, Cleveland over the years. I don't know. You could, go on and on.
Broncos over the years.
The Broncos now over the years, because we're on 7. We're on 7 now.
Yep.
Oh, it's only 7. You were in this 23 years. Well, you could be in this a lot longer than 23 years. We're just in the beginning.
We haven't got started yet.
So we have a front office that can't blame itself for anything. It's got to be Hackett's fault. It's got to be Peyton's fault. I don't really look at Peyton as the front office. I look at him as a front office window dresser.
Puppet?
Yeah, puppet. Yeah. And he's just the mouthpiece. Now, they had to trade Chubb, and there was only one question at the press conference that really mattered. The rest was just a bunch of fluff and bullshit. Little D, going to give a Little D Mac credit, because I'm really confused, because going into this offseason, when you went and got Russell Wilson, the claim was you're set, the roster set. And what was the theme at this press conference over and over and over, especially when that question was asked, is almost as if there's pressure coming from somewhere and somebody has to keep. John Elway wrote the script. You just keep saying this. It was, and I quote, we are confident in our player personnel. We are confident in our player personnel. That tells me, if you have to say that over and over, you're clearly not confident, or somebody in that organization, maybe over the little man with a big office that doesn't exist, is not confident with the player personnel. Go ahead.
No. You hit the nail on the head on that point, because there are teams around the NFL, like again, a lot of people misconstrue what I say, because a lot of people fear me in my work, right? Correct?
Well, they wouldn't be banning you if they didn't.
they want to continue to ban me, but we'll get there in a little bit. But when it comes to the teams around the NFL, I want to be teams like the Eagles. I want to be teams like the Bills, even though they had their head up their ass this week, and I still think they're the best team in the NFL. I want to be like the Chiefs. I want to be teams that don't come on here and tell me and try to convince me every offseason that this fucking team is a quarterback away, a receiver away, a tight end away. You know how they do their talking on the field.
Yeah.
And the Denver Broncos have failed with that ever since Pat Bowlen's left that building and Adam Peters has left that building and team guys like that. The Denver Broncos are just a joke. They're a complete joke, and
they're a league joke. Yeah, absolutely.
They're a league joke. Just like not just the Denver Broncos. I think that the Jaguars are a joke. I think the Browns are a joke. There's a lot of other teams that are a joke. Not
Colts, they're a joke.
Yeah, exactly. And you brought up a good point with the Colts, for example. I want to circle back to that team specifically because I think what has hampered that team is that offensive line and how they lost their coach for that. They had that Patriots Hall of Fame coach for their offensive line, and I think that's had a major impact on that team. And when I'm going to circle back to the Denver Broncos real quick.
Hold on a second. I just want to say something about the Colts just really quick. Beating the Denver Broncos obviously doesn't save your job. That doesn't mean shit. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Denver Broncos don't mean shit right now. I mean, they're a joke. So, but a lot of people are saying that we need to be happy about this win. I need to be happy with mediocrity. Okay, see, and that right there, that face right there defines everything you need to know about the world today and the NFL today. The NFL is a microcosm of the world. A lot of people are just so mentally fucking brainwashed that they can't handle when another person like ourselves has a difference of opinion, or they're actually telling you like it is, and it actually comes to light. They
like the fake. They like the fake. You had the press conference with what's his face, George Payton, saying that Draymond Jones was Player of the Week, Week 7.
Wasn't.
He wasn't even an honorable mention. They just can't just lie after lie after lie. They just sit there and lie to the dumbed down. I guess there is a group of fans, and I'm not saying they're all that way. There is a group of fans that think that they just buy into everything that's being shoveled out. Like, Elway doesn't exist. Draymond Jones was Player of the Week. And they just gobble up. Well, just keep telling me. I won't use my brain. I won't think. I won't, question anything. And just, I'm a good little whatever, a little good little order taker, just, okay.
Because they don't, that small crowd, I believe it's a bigger crowd than you even give. I think it's a bigger crowd. I think a lot of people I think they act like us.
I don't think so. I think a lot of the bigger crowds online, and it seems like it's bigger, but I think a majority of people out on the street are like, yeah, this is typically they're crap. They promised the move. Yeah, they promised the person can't hit the fucking treetops.
Well, exactly, because we predicted that this offseason, and aren't we right in spades on that? Because
I mean, it's not really hard to predict.
Well, not really hard. A lot of people don't want to do the hard work, and that's why we're so hated, is because we roll up our sleeves. We don't ask for views. We don't ask for
fans. It's fans. Yeah. Well, the media just goes they go through the path of least resistance, where they can make money because there's dimwits out here that just want to be lied to. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll tell you how the sun is shining, the rainbows are going right up your asshole, and we'll cash in because of you friggin' morons out there. The banks, just so you know, there's a reason the banks have suckers in the bank. They always get a sucker at the bank. There is a historic reason for that. You can look that up. But anyway.
Yeah, you guys, that crowd that you're talking about, you're all suckers again for how many years now? 8 years.
Suckers. Yeah, they love being suckers. They love being suckered, and they love being suckers. I'm not that way. I got questions, and
I've never.
I love to see the Broncos the way we described it. The way the Eagles are right now, and the direction the Giants are going.
Why can't we want to be like that? Why do you want to continue to support mediocrity and bullshit and below average play?
That's
hold on.
My question to Rob Walton.
Penner.
Forget Penner. Walton, he's a guy. Forget Condoleezza Rice.
He's not the guy. He is not. I'm sorry. He's not the guy. There's so many cooks in that fucking. He is not the guy. There's so many. I disagree.
Well, he better be the guy.
He's not gonna. He doesn't know how, dude. I'm telling you right now, and this is no disrespect to you or the fans that believe it. I do not believe Rob Walton is the guy. I understand your cameras. I know it's one of those things. The headquarters is a mess right now. But like I said, I'm telling you right now, Rob Walton is not the guy. There are so many cooks in that fucking kitchen that I don't believe that it's just one person. I believe it's a multitude of people. Condoleezza Rice, Penner, or the wife of Penner, all these fucking the NASCAR Lightning McQueen. I don't think it's fucking just Rob Walton.
The daughter.
Yep, I don't think it's just Rob Walton. I think it's all those people combined to form one just big nucleus of fucking talking heads.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have to go through this process where, obviously, first thing is the front office is going to get cleaned out. It will. It just will.
Hopefully.
And then all the talking heads got to do what they're going to do until somebody is saying there's got to be a single voice here. It's a process. And remember what I said just a while ago? I said, fans were saying, well, it's only 7 years. We didn't have to wait 25, 50 years or whatever it is.
We're going to have to wait that long now.
It could be even longer. You could be breaking records, to get through that process. Yep. Absolutely.
I'll be in this guy's position before you know it.
You may even be buried, too. Twice as old as me. But So anyway, there was how does the Broncos operate? They screwed up all their draft picks. So now what do they have to do? They have to go get they have to go and liquidate players that actually can play on that team. They can't get rid of Justin, Tony, Lily Simmons, liquidate that cap space. Gregory, you signed Gregory, which was stupid. I mean, how many teams, I asked you this question. How many teams were not begging to get Gregory, to sign Gregory at all? Now,
who was begging to sign Gregory? The Broncos.
Yeah, it was just the Broncos. Now, according to the NFL writers, there are all kinds of inquiries for Bradley Chubb. Now I wouldn't have paid him that much. I would pay the guy you wanted,
Jeffrey Simmons.
I would pay Jeffrey Simmons. And anybody that didn't understand that didn't watch, what was it, Sunday Night Football, I guess. Was it Sunday night? Yeah, Sunday Night Football.
Yep.
Time flies. So they liquidate because of all this mismanagement. It's gone all the way back to Menelik Watson. All the way back there. It
goes beyond that. It
goes. Yeah, when they got rid of everybody. They got rid of
the quote unquote dogs.
Yeah, and then the guy upstairs with the biggest office that doesn't exist said, we're just a quarterback away. Don't worry, it's just a quarterback away. This team's going to go to the Super. They're still a Super Bowl. And that's the one thing that he's been criticized for, and I think that's why he had to hide.
Well, you were talking about the liquidation of trying to get that first round pick that we will probably blow.
I have no confidence. I have zero.
I have zero confidence that we will pick the right player at the spot, whatever that spot is, because that's a 49ers pick. And you damn well know that's going to be a late first-round pick. This isn't going to be an early first-round pick. The early first-round pick that you had is in Seattle right now, and they have 2 first-round picks in this draft. That's how you fucking build a team. That's why they're laughing at our face. That's why they're laughing at your guys' face, and that's why they're so happy, is because they're not liquidating all this money to one player, and that is Russell Wilson. They're on a cheap contract with Geno Smith. I think that the Seahawks had an excellent draft. What did I say about Charles Cross and Abraham Lucas? I mean, those guys are rookie tackles, and I said that first game of the season when they went against the Broncos, they held their own until that fourth quarter. And I said, Denver Broncos are in trouble. And to go back to what you said, Justin Tony Lily Simmons, I'm not even going to call him Justin Tony Lily Simmons. I'm just going to call him Justin Simmons because I don't think he's better than Tony Lily Simmons. I don't think he's on par with Tony Lily.
He is bad.
He sucks.
I mean, I was breaking down. He got the interception. No, he didn't get the interception. He was gifted that. That was all on Lawrence. All 100% on Lawrence.
Right at him.
Yeah, and if actually he didn't, he actually threw it behind us. That's how bad it was. That pass was supposed to go to the back corner end zone. I mean,
it was supposed to be a corner route.
You can't intercept it when the ball is supposed to be thrown over here, well over Justin Simmons' jump reach. That's all he needed. I'm just saying the guy can't process. That's clearly it just boggles your mind why he did. And if let's just say Justin Simmons wasn't even there at that time, the way he was throwing it, the defender who was getting beat by the Jacksonville receiver, we would have had the better chance to get that ball. It just was mind-bogglingly stupid. He completes that pass, they win that game. That to the corner of the end zone. It's a 24-21 game, and Jacksonville wins it. I mean that, and I just say in my video that I'm going to post, it's already posted by the time people see this, but that's been the theme for the Denver Broncos. Remember that you had people saying, "Oh, you're just hoping they're going to get exposed." They've been getting exposed since Seattle. Every game they've been getting exposed defense. It's just that nobody can be consistent. Again, if a guy can't even make a pass that any number of quarterbacks easily could have made, something it's the teams hurting themselves, not the Broncos defense doing anything.
Here's the problem, and I cannot wait to get into this Jeffrey Simmons, Justin Simmons argument because people are going to lose their shit. But I want to talk about the stuff that you just said about Gregory, Justin Simmons, and this defense. Hoping that we get exposed. People saying that they're stupid.
Well, say that again. I didn't get that.
When you said that people
what are people saying? What are people saying?
Hoping that you said you were saying that people have been saying that we were hoping that this team would get exposed or this defense would get exposed. Here, yeah. Let me just tell you something right here to you clown world morons. You do understand that driving up and down the field on this defense on a consistent basis means they're getting exposed, right? You do understand that, or are you just so mentally stupid and you believe in the Madden 23 and the stats-based bullshit? I really do believe that's what they believe in this clown world we live in today. But Justin Simmons, I don't even get me started. I'll talk about him in a minute. Randy Gregory can't even – I told everybody that this guy cannot stay healthy at all. And you're paying him all this money for a guy that's, again, Juwan James-esque in the hot tub, is a 4-3 hand-in-the-dirt defensive end. And then what you do again, you do it again. And this is why I believe this is Elway move all over again.
Elway, absolutely.
Again, and here we go. No, hold on. Here we go again. You trade Bradley Chubb. The Dolphins overpay for him, which in terms of the money. And then you go to the Jets that run a 4-3, cover 3, cover 6 system with Robert Saleh, and you get a defensive end in Jacob Martin, who is a 4-3 defensive end hand in the dirt. He's always been in a 4-3 system his entire career. Now you're expecting him to come into a 3-4 system. That is the problem of this organization is you're bringing in players that come from different systems, and you're trying to fit a square peg in a round hole, and it's not going to fucking work.
I don't believe that's Edgerro. I don't believe Edgerro had anything to do with it.
No, I do not believe that at all.
It's front office mismanagement.
Poor system.
It's the front office mismanagement.
Yeah, the front office mismanagement. You move Browning outside, and he looked good against the third string right tackle at the Colts. He's looked good against, Draymond Jones too. Oh my God, he looked so good against the Jets and Jaguars offensive line. Where was he before that? He always looked good against these lower echelon teams. But just wait when we go this week. When we go against,
with Jacksonville ran right at him, and
and they had success doing it. And where did they run at that? I said that this defense has a problem with in those B gaps, right? And they ran right at his ass. Even at DJ Jones, they had success wiggling his way into those B gaps and A gaps.
Well, I'm watching the film. DJ Jones actually had a decent game, and I think it's a slap in his face for Peyton to go and try to promote. And I believe it's Elway. It comes all the way in, and beating that how players that don't deserve it get it, and people that do deserve it don't get an honorable mention. With that
Draymond Jones, AFC Defensive Player of the Week. What the fuck does that? Dude, that is so. That
guy
is writers based.
He was nowhere in the film.
Lie. He was not AFC Defensive Player of the Week. If I had to give a guy AFC Defensive Player of the Week, it would be Jeffrey fucking Simmons.
Yeah. So that brings us to Jeffrey Simmons in your channel. You did a great video. I'm going to link to it. I've already linked to it on the last video we did. I made sure to link to it. We were talking about how we expose Elway. We're the only ones that outside of the mainstream tiptoeing. Yeah, we talked to Elway, who stepped down, but he's still running things over. We just sit there and we tell it like it is. This has been the same thing, and it's not going to change until everybody there gets cleared out, and that includes especially the guy at the top. So we point it out all the time. You make an excellent film showing, what real player personnel looks like, and what our clown personnel with Justin Simmons looks like. I love how you use the audio from both players. Take it away and discuss your channel and discuss the last video that you did. It is a great video, and you even had commenters say, "Yeah, and this is great. We need more of this online." Go ahead.
Okay, so I just wanted to say this. This is regarding my channel real quick, and then I'll get into the other points that you wanted me to hit on. I'm done posting on them too. I'm going to go BitChute full time. That is the plan moving forward for me. I'm getting sick and tired of the shadow banning. I've had 2 channels that have gotten taken down. I've had all these videos that I believe are great work that take a lot of time and effort and detail-oriented work to put in. I put audio into this latest video. It was up for 2-3 hours, and they pulled it because it was hate speech and fucking it was misled information, and that's how I fucking know that you, Dove Valley, has me on your fucking pulse. And on top of
Dove Valley, you're all going to be gone. Just it's a matter of time. You are on a clock, and you are going to be gone. It is a matter of time, all of you. So you can laugh it up, but you're going to be gone. You can guarantee that. Go ahead.
And that's exactly why I'm getting sick and tired of the bullshit here. And this is exactly why I'm getting sick and tired of the NFL in general, because they are such a toxic fucking microcosm of the world today. It is a joke. You don't think that the NFL can pull your videos? Okay. They're a $1 billion+ corporation in New York, and they don't give a fuck who you are.
Well, now the Broncos are $1 billion corporation.
Yeah. The Broncos are just as fucking corrupt as these other odds, all 31 other teams in the National Football League. And on top of that, I do video upon video upon video of being strategic in the way that I come across in terms of how I explain things and how I go into detail about, hey, what is this player doing wrong to what is this player's doing right? And the minute that I start talking about that shit, and the minute that I exposed Justin Simmons all summer, I'm like, you know what? I'm done with this bullshit. Justin Simmons doesn't deserve to get paid over a guy like Mika Fitzpatrick, a Buda Baker, or Derwin James, guys that are so much better than he is. Even you know.
Oh, they're in a different universe. They're in a different universe.
Exactly. But I did a video of Jeffrey Simmons, the anti-Justin Simmons. And that video, I was listening to Sirius XM NFL radio and the Blitz, and they had him on, and he was talking about how the Titans have turned around their season when they started. I believe it was 0-2 or 1-3, something like that. And the way that he conducted himself is he's in a different fucking mindset than what I posted with Justin Simmons, where Jeffrey Simmons isn't about accolades. He's about his.
Well, what did he specifically say?
He's like, the stats will come. The stats will come. Number one. Number two, I want to help the players around me. I want to be a leader of men. I want to help the young players.
It's not about stats. It's not about.
Like I said, he's not about stats. And then you have the other guy, Justin Simmons, on Mile High Bubble after I exposed him all summer, going on there talking about, I have all these accolades, right? And there's individual stats that I'm looking to hit. What the fuck stats are you going to hit, Justin Simmons, you sack of shit? Yeah. I am so done with you, Justin Simmons. You are a disgrace as a Bronco player. You're a good man off the field, but I'm going to talk to you as a player. You need to get your head out of your fucking ass. You running your fucking mouth at the Jaguar game thinking you're some type of hot shit out there.
Yeah. And that's what should have led to the winning touchdown by the Jaguars. That should have been the sequence of events. Then this guy's like, it was the worst pass interference and all this. And you get bailed out, Simmons. You get bailed out. Again. You get bailed out.
Because Elway fucking has you under his thumb like you're a fucking puppet. And on top of that, Jeffrey Simmons on Sunday Night Football in front of the world, not in London at a 7:30 a.m. game. I'm talking about primetime Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs. Jeffrey Simmons was getting double teamed and he was pushing two guys back, looked like Aaron Donald-esque in his prime. So before you even run your mouth, Justin Simmons, you might want to go look at a guy like Jeffrey Simmons, who's the better Simmons, by the way, because Jeffrey Simmons, by far, Jeffrey Simmons is such a force in the middle of that defense that you people will not run. Could you imagine having him next to DJ Jones? Holy shit.
Yeah. But you can't have you can't have the Broncos. You cannot have that.
Why? And as a Bronco fan, to the Bronco and the toxic fans, why do you not want players like that?
Because him, they would have wanted Judy. Instead of getting him, they would have wanted Judy. That's how they roll, because they've been trained to think this way by the guy upstairs doing this toxic shit for 7 years.
And that's why I get this. Not because I hate players like Jerry Jeudy. I just don't think Jerry Judy's good. I just don't think that fucking
Not when you compare what Simmons brings to the table.
Not when you compare to what Justin Jefferson's done in Minnesota. I'm telling you right now, there are a plethora of other players that I would rather have on this roster than most of the players on this roster. Well, see, you hate all the team. No, because I recognize what better player personnel looks like.
I want to say you hate all the players. What have they done to make me want them? What have they done to make me want to support them? What have they done?
Outside of Quentin Miners, DJ Jones, and Caden Stearns, and there's a few players on the roster. You know what? I want to say this. I've actually been wanting to say this, and this goes directly to what you said about what has given us. I have been really impressed from what I've seen from Patrick Surtain in this instance. Is I believe the one thing that he's gotten better at this offseason that I criticized is his consistency. And I think his consistency factor on one side of the field has been very, very impressive. I have to give props where props is due on that. But again, he's just a more advanced version of Antonio Cromartie. He's not a Champ Bailey because he doesn't go on both sides of the field. He doesn't play in the slot. But as strictly as a boundary corner, I think the one thing that I've been really impressed by is his IQ factor this offseason or this season and his consistency factor. And that's him growing as a player. And I like that. Whoever is the cornerbacks coach on this team, I mean, Jesus Christ, you have to give him credit for what he's been dealt with Kwan Williams and Darby being out, Michael Ojemudia not playing very good. I think he's a better safety than a corner.
We'll probably have to get rid of him. Yeah, probably the thing we'll have to get rid of him.
There are players on the team that I've seen take a little bit of a progression. Surtain, I believe Miners has taken a big step back because of the loss of Mike Munchak. I think Mike Munchak had more to do with Quentin Miners.
Let me ask this: how would Surtain do if he had that push up the middle with Simmons and DJ Jones stuffing the run, and you had better linebacking? But if you had a better front seven,
better back end, if he had a better safety behind him, could you imagine what he would look like if he was on the Ravens, for example?
Well, even Stearns, was it Stearns? It's
Hayden Stearns.
Stearns, okay. Can I get the two mixed up?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah. So even with Stearns back there, he looks better.
It's not that
better with Stearns back there.
Yeah, and see, and that, I based that criteria because I wanted to see Patrick. So I eyeballed Patrick Surtain specifically. And these last few weeks, I get it. It's against poor competition, and I want to see him do this against, the Chiefs and guys like teams like that. But from what I've seen the past few weeks, I like what I've seen from the consistency factor from him. And that's the problem that we had last year is there were plays where he looked good, but then there's that inconsistency factor where it prolonged his processing and his IQ. And that's the one thing I've really liked about Patrick Surtain this year is he's becoming, I believe, a more consistent version of Antonio Cromartie. And that's what I like to see. Would I still take Patrick Surtain in that draft? No, I would rather take Rashawn Slater. But right now, I've been really impressed from what I've seen from Patrick Surtain so far. But only time will tell. The second half schedule is going to be brutal. So I want to see how he does against better competition.
So, and change the subject a little bit. So Chubb ends up leaving. What does that leave? We got Burrito. Hey, is Browning still out?
I think so, yes.
Well, you got Nick Burrito. What do you got?
Got Jacob Martin, a 4-3 defensive end, playing a 3-4 outside. I know, man. And you know what? I get you. And what did we predict this offseason? And I want to change the subject back on you. What did we predict this offseason that the Denver Broncos could possibly do? Sign another overrated player in Draymond Jones? They're going to sign him. I truly believe they're going to sign him because now the articles are coming out, and I said – Now the PR is starting to come out where they got to sign.
We know who's behind the PR. We know who.
Elway. Now they're going to they want to sign him to a $23 million plus year contract. Here we go. But we predicted that. I said that would happen.
Well, here's the thing. That front office, again, these are the things, they're going to be gone. It's just a matter of time. And I think the time is shorter than the people that are actually laughing at us right now in the front office think, because I think when it happens, it's going to be quick.
Hey, front office, the Valley, and the fans that my detractors out there, you can laugh all you want that my channel and videos are taken down, but I have more of an impact on my videos than you two combined. My videos are so lethal that you guys don't understand that I have other teams and other fans out there that come on this channel, and I've had coaches too. I've had coaches message me say, "Hey, this is some good shit right here." Because
they better, or they got their head so far up their ass. But there's going to come a time they ain't going to be able to get all that for free.
Nope.
They ain't going to be able to get it for free. You want people that are going to make a difference. They're the diamonds in the rough. This guy right here, he's got his shit together. He's just it's like 99%. There's like 1% that may not, but I haven't seen anybody like him. And that's why, and I told him this a long time ago, that you got to keep honing that skill, and then we're just going to take it. You want it, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
Because he should get paid. He should get paid. It's just the way I feel. So, and I think you will get paid too, because I mean, the results speak for themselves. But now going into the Tennessee Titan game, I think you were talking about Tennessee and Simmons. I think that Titans could possibly host the AFC during the playoffs if they keep going. Now I heard Tannehill is out.
Maybe.
But I don't think that that's going to be a big factor
No.
because the Broncos are heading for a buzzsaw. I'm just going to say it. There's no way unless the only way I see Tennessee losing that game, and if they do, they have to be totally asleep.
They do sham ball.
And they'll have to do some soul searching if they lose that game against the Broncos at home. What do you think?
I just don't think a Mike Vrabel team is gonna fall. I don't think a Mike Vrabel team is gonna fall asleep, especially against the Broncos, because the Mike Vrabel team always has its shit together, and that's the one thing I like about Mike Vrabel. He gets the best out of his players, and I like Mike Vrabel a lot. I think Mike Vrabel is a very underrated coach, and I really like what the Titans and that organization and Brian Robinson leading the charge in that front office have done. I mean, they have put an importance on that offensive defensive line, and I'm telling you right now, this game is an 11 a.m. game in Tennessee, and I think that this game could be a game where I think that could be a Derrick Henry breakout game for him if they run him in the B gaps, which he's very good at doing. He is an inside zone runner, and I think that can expose. I'd run at Draymond all day until
they will. They'll run. They'll run to the other side. They'll run. Oh yeah.
Okay. You know, the Titans don't have great receivers. They have Robert Woods. They have some veterans there, but they're not electrifying to the extent of what we're going to see with the Ravens and what we're going to see with the Chiefs and teams like that. But
defensively, though, I think that they're
the Titans defense. Woo. I'll let you go ahead and talk about because
for me, what this game I believe is going to be, I believe this is going to be a statement game by the Tennessee Titans that the game that they won with Kansas City wasn't a fluke.
No, they didn't beat Kansas City.
What's that?
They didn't beat Kansas City.
Oh, I thought they did.
No, they lost in overtime.
Oh, see, I didn't get that far because I wasn't allowed to watch it. So
yeah, you're not allowed to do anything anymore.
I know. I understand that. So they just well, the performance they had in
Arrowhead.
In Arrowhead isn't. I think it's going to be a statement game at their own in their own backyard. That what they did at Arrowhead is not a fluke.
The reason I disagree with you is because I think the statement game was against the Titans or against the Chiefs. So
what I'm saying is it's a statement game because they want to show that what they did. They want to show that no, that wasn't a fluke. I think they want to kick the Broncos' ass.
Oh, who wouldn't want to kick their ass for them running their mouth this offseason thinking they were
the AFC and all that stuff? Yeah, that's just the icing on the cake for that team.
But I think they're just going to run it down Denver's throat. I think they're going to copy what Jacksonville did in the running game.
Yeah.
I would do. I mean, I would run them, play action, middle of the defense, and the Jaguars were doing that, and then they got away from it. But again, we have to wait and see because the teams we've played so far, outside of the Raiders, hasn't given me confidence that they stick to what they do. I don't. If Malik Willis is playing, you're damn sure they're going to run the ball. They're not going to throw it as much. And if they do that and they continue to stick to that running game, I think that could cause problems for this defense. And I think the defense is going to get exposed bad in this game. I think the Broncos defense
another week of being exposed.
Week of getting exposed, but I think this is when it's getting exposed. So you know what I've noticed, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but what I've noticed with this defense is slowly but surely that dam is starting to break. It's slowly but surely. I think that this game could possibly be the game where the floodgates open up, and I'm telling you, I love what the Titans are doing right now, and they're not a team to fuck around with, especially with that defense in Tennessee, that front seven.
At home.
11
I think
a.m.
they're going to disassemble this ridiculous offensive line of the Denver Broncos.
Oh, yeah, let's get into that real quick because Lloyd Cushenberry is out. What another great draft pick by John Elway, the common thread, right? Now you're putting Graham.
He's doing so good. Not.
No. Now you got Graham Glasgow at center. You still got Garrett Bowles who's out. Billy Turner has been playing okay, but he hasn't been the free agent signing that you could have signed him 3 years and developed somebody under. I can't
have that either.
Dalton Risner has completely regressed the player.
Not even if you'd have put Dalton Risner in San Francisco, he probably would be completely different, had a different career path.
If you put him on the Titans, he would look like a completely different player.
Or the Ravens, he probably would have taken a completely. Yeah, it would have taken a completely different path. Yeah,
I think this offensive line coach for the Broncos sucks. I think Barry has been a major disappointment, and because you wanted to get your way, Elway, I can't
play coaches anymore. I just can't because they're given chicken shit to work with. I mean, it's.
Well, Mike Munchak was working with chicken shit, and he got the best out of fucking Quentin Miners and Natay Moody and other players on that offense.
Got to get rid of him. It's very important that you blame him, thinking you're going to change some, just like they're going to blame Hackett, thinking that's going to resolve anything.
So I want to talk about the game plan for the Titans and what I think I'm going to see offensively and defensively. So offensively, we already talked about that. I think they're going to stick to those B-gap running plays. I think they're going to run it. Draymond, I still think they're going to try and run it DJ Jones. The one thing I've noticed, big weakness in DJ Jones' game, he really struggles with those B gaps, run stuffing plays. He's better in that right up the middle, A gap formations where if they run right at him, he does a really good job of overpowering the type of player. But if you line him outside in those 3-tech B gap techniques,
well, that's where you need your linebacking help coming from. But go ahead.
And again, but yeah, I agree with you on that. But the front seven needs to get that initial push in the backfield before that back end can even get there. We don't have
Broncos now.
We don't have that.
No.
And I honestly, to be perfectly honest, I think our best run stuffing edge piece was Bradley Chubb. Now that he's out of the mix, I think that could now that I think about that, see, this is how my brain works. This is how I watch film. And you guys are going to get a little insight. And if you want to take something away from this, go ahead. I encourage everyone to take it if you guys have the mindset to. But again, when I watch the film, now that I said Bradley Chubb is hurt, it would not surprise me one bit if Gregory plays this game, if he does, or Jacob Martin plays this game, or Burrito. That would tempt you to run right at him on those outside zone runs, crackback blocks, and hit the. That's how I view it as. I think they're going to run the hell out of the ball this weekend. Offensively, I think you're still going to see some throws, but I think they're going to kind of be those easy throws where they're not going to go for those deep shots like the Denver.
They don't need to. They don't even need to.
No. So that's what offensively for the Tennessee Titans. What do you see?
I see them running, and I also see the middle of the field really opening up. Man, it was really opening up with Jack, but they didn't have the wherewithal. Well, when they did throw, and you'll see in the video that I give, they were dropping passes. If they weren't dropping passes, Lawrence, then they would do these ridiculous screenplays they had no business doing. There was no reason to do it. Not when that middle was so wide open.
Well, here's where I disagree with you on that. I like doing screenplays at the right times. I wouldn't over abuse it, and I think that's what the Jaguars did. They over abused the screen game.
I think they're good at it. I just don't think they're good at it personally. Like Broncos.
When I was watching, when I posted my film review, they looked pretty good at it with that Travis Etienne slipping out of the backfield, and they ran right behind Brandon Scherf in that offensive line. But who knows?
Yeah, I've got some where they just, but they didn't even give them blocking. I mean, anyway, but so I see the middle opening up, and if they have the wherewithal to tear apart that middle, on the passing plays, they could really get torched on that. Obviously, they're not the heaviest scoring offense, but that could be different. This could be a big time scoring. They could hit easily get into the Mid to upper 20s against this team. Defensively, it's just but
Get ready for some Jeffrey Simmons.
I don't know. This may be it for Wilson. They may knock him right out of the game.
Yeah,
he's going to be under duress quite a bit in this game.
So Mike Vrabel, I'll talk about this defense. I'll go into more detail about this defense. Mike Vrabel brings over that Bill Belichick 3-4 under defense, and they use
a quick question about that defense. If you're John Elway, because he's the one that called the offensive plays, obviously, do you go into Shermer ball against this defense? Just answer that question.
No.
Would that be like the worst thing you could possibly do against this defense?
And that's where I could see they could possibly do. Honestly, I think they're gonna. Again, I'll get into the Denver Broncos and what I believe what they'll do. I'm going to finish up with the Titans real quick. But the Titans defensively, they got Jeffrey Simmons, who I believe is the second best interior defensive lineman in the league by far. I mean, this guy's right behind Aaron Donald, could possibly eclipse Aaron Donald by the end of the year. They got some very good defensive linemen on that defense. They're young up front. They got some linebackers that can cover. Their back end is very, very good. Amari Hooker and Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard, to me, is a top 6 safety. He's in the number 6 spot right now. He's having one hell of a year. Amari Hooker is from Iowa, who is not playing corner. He's playing safety. And he's just like Michael Ojemudia in that aspect, and he's playing very good, strong safety. So
they get it. They get
it. And they also got Caleb Farley, who I wanted in the who I had over Patrick Surtain in the draft. I've been somewhat wrong about him, but he plays slot, outside. He can play all over the football field. He's not just one specific corner, but they like to put a guy like Elijah Moden, who's from Washington, in the slot. He's more of your Bryce Callahan on that team. So this defense is no joke. If the Denver Broncos want to have success on this defense, they need to do exactly what they did against Jacksonville. That's the quick passing game, get the ball out quick, run the ball effectively, and I just don't think the Broncos can run the ball right now.
It's struggling.
And they're not creative in running the football. And I think that has a lot to do with losing Mike Munchak and the running backs coach, Curtis Hawkins, who, by the way, the Vikings are, I think they're 7-1 right now, and Dalvin Cook.
How are they doing without George Payton there? How are they doing?
They're looking pretty good. How are they looking with Curtis Hawkins, the running backs coach, and Ed Donatell's the defense coordinator?
Oh, they have a stable of running backs. I wanted to get that guy. Eddie did want Murray back. I said you could have him. I wanted the Vikings. Their guy on the practice squad. My God, but no, we can't have that.
Can't have that.
Oh, speaking of the Saints, by the way, I just want to throw this out there is that, all the talk, and it kind of died down after we dispelled it. With bringing in their former coach, Peyton. Peyton on the Denver Broncos is like, you got to be freaking kidding me, So they're never going to get that guy. It's just such a joke.
I think the best situations that he could go to is he could come back with the Saints, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, probably
or
not.
It's either going to be. I think a possibility could be the Chargers.
Yeah. So exactly. So you get exactly. So
and he was a lot better with the Chargers in that front.
Yeah. Why would you come to this clown show? I mean, what my point is he himself, Peyton, is just looking at the Broncos like everybody else except the front office. The front office is in a delusion, and everybody else is knows who they are and sees what they are, and that's what Peyton expressed. So I just wanted to say that. So I think you're right. I think that the Broncos will not be able to it'll probably get to a point where they'll get nervous, figuring that they're going to lose another game and try to go into Shermer ball, and that may be where they get Russell Wilson killed.
And I just this will be the last thing I say. about today's video. I just want to say this player has been another overrated player, and if I get pushback on this, I don't care because I'm not afraid to speak my mind. Courtland Sutton. I mean, I had high hopes for you after Sanders and you got into it. You started to take to, and I just think he's another privileged player. I really.
Well, he's got his contract. What does he care?
I know exactly. I think he's another Justin Simmons, where he believes he's this, this DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett player, and I just don't think.
Well, when one day he decides to get to the second level,
I'd rather have Tim Patrick on the field than Courtland Sutton, and I'd trade Courtland Sutton. Fuck it.
When Courtland Sutton can get to the second level, then he can talk. But until he has no.
None of them can. None of them can outside of KJ Hamler. But KJ Hamler to me is the only one that if given the opportunity can get to the second level. Jerry Jeudy can't. Neither can Courtland Sutton. They can't.
So have you noticed the evolution or de-evolution of Wilson fading out of Courtland Sutton and going now more to just the
KJ Hamler
and Hamler, but to a lesser degree. But yes. But Jerry Jeudy to more as the primary guy. There's lies a big issue right there. But again, who created the whole thing?
LA.
Yeah. So Rob Walton, one day you'll get it figured out. You got a clean house.
Rob Walton.
What's that?
It's not just Rob Walton. It's the whole group.
Somebody there is going to have to be the guy.
I understand what you're saying, but again, it's not raw. It's like we said with this coaching staff.
Whether it's all of them, but it's Rob Walton ultimately has the final say. So it's just going to be a matter of time. And they're going to clear house.
If Rob Walton had the final say, then to me he wouldn't. I can't do this multi-ownership bullshit. The Redskins are going to do the exact same thing here soon.
Well, yeah, and you see where the Redskins have been with Daniel Snyder. So you might as well, like you say, and I'll agree with you.
Jeff Bezos and Jay-Z.
Well, Jeff Bezos, yeah, he'd probably bring in a committee of knuckleheads.
Just like Rob Walton did.
Yeah, so, but sooner or later, the word will come up and Rob Walton will be the one because, whether all the King's horses and all the King's men have to bring it up to his attention, but he has the final say and it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time because this clown show just can't keep going on the way it is. It's just going to be unbearable even for the Condoleezza Rices of the world. So, and what you get after that is what you get. A room full of knuckleheads trying to figure it out.
Yep, and like I said before, my BitChute channel is the same as Shadow Band Scouting. A lot of my...
putting that channel in the descriptor. I'm going to make sure that it's always in the descriptor.
Yep, and we both made BitChute accounts. I'm going there full time. I'm done with this YouTube bullshit.
Well, now that you're gone, they'll probably come after me and take my stuff down too. I've told you that's going to be coming.
Stuff down. You're too calculated in the way you say things. I just don't give a shit. I'll speak my mind.
No, I think that they get one down, they're going to try to get the other down next. So.
Have them down. I'm just not going to fucking put up with their bullshit anymore. I'm going somewhere where the platform's better.
Yeah.
Fuck you, YouTube and Dove Valley, or them too. Fuck you, them too. And fuck you to the people that, it's funny that they can allow death threats, but a guy that actually, doesn't go out of his way to death threat people and just does film review and that, it gets taken down. Just shows you how the world works today, right there.
Oh, no, I know.
Example right there.
I know. Well, you're not one taken off of them too.
Yep.
So you have good company. As I call it, a badge of honor, quite frankly.
Yeah, it is. It's a badge of honor.
Yeah, because you're effective. You're effective. Well, that's all I have.
Yeah, we both are effective, not just me. So.
Oh yeah, I'd say you're very much more effective. I like your films, and I really can't wait till as many people can watch that film you did with Simmons, Jeffrey Simmons. It is really good. Why do you guys always highlight other players? Because you forgot, toxic fan. What a good.
I'm done engaging with those people. I'm done. I just stop. They're stupid.
Yeah. Guess what? You forgot. You forgot what good play is, because you cheerlead bad play. All right, I'm done.
I'm done too.
All right, let's go out and get shit done.
Yeah, let's go do things that we got to do. So, because we can't do the things we really want to do. So,
exactly. Well, welcome to the planet Earth.
Yeah.
We'll see you.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.